Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I've been called a preacher, but I don't accept that as fact. I call myself as a child of God, meaning that I recognize that there are powers outside of the powers that men have the ability to use. I claim that power as evidence that allows me to resist as I walk this human walk. In this situation, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, because for some strange reason, you know, our bodies have physical makeups, and we have recognized that they seem to all work together for the common good of this body, but we really don't know what went into the plan. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I was temporarily interrupted. Back to the pain, the suffering that we feel because of other people. Other people just like me, just like you, who have all been misled. I could talk forever, it appears. I have been talking for over 40 years. But I want to see if I can cut this down to about 5 or 6 minutes. I want to hold your attention at least that long. What I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, is this, is that as that body I was telling you about a moment ago, if any parts of it had been left out and decided or determined that it was not important, you and I would never know that it was ever considered. So I guess I'm saying that things happen that we just really don't know. And when people tell us things, sometimes they aren't true. Sometimes they're just lies. And if we accept them, and we usually do, we are walking down a path of destruction as far as accomplishing that, if it's good, that we seek out to get. So I'm saying to you is this: we as human beings, the way we live, the life, it reflects who we really are, what we really believe, and what we really are about. I heard a comedian the other day says that it is God's way or the other. He says there's no in between, there's no anything like that. It's God's way or the other. And the differences are so apparent that there is really no question of which is which. I would like to share with you just a little bit of the gravy of this other system. The other system is made up of people. People who, for some strange reason, you know, there are people who they call themselves alpha male and so on and so forth. I don't know why they have to do that, but they do that perhaps because they were made like that to serve a purpose, not the one that is being used, but a purpose. And even maybe the one that is being used. You take control. You become the smartest. You take the gifts and talents that you have to utilize them to benefit you at the expense of any other, because to you, the only one that is important is you. And as far as it goes, the whole world is around you to serve you, to bring you the fullness of life. And you're able to manipulate all about you. You talk to people who just accept you because to them, why would you lie? Why should they have anything to fear from you? And this is what they give to you. This is the courtesy. This is the character that they exhibit to you, while inside you don't think about nothing but eating them up, eating them alive, and laughing at them at the same time. And they don't know it. And then when things start happening, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a few of the things that happen when you're going the other. First of all, you got those who got. Those are the ones who running the show. Those are the big deceivers. They're the ones that really got the money. Or if you get it in this world, money is the motivating force. And everybody else is caught up in stuff like lying and cheating, stealing. The deception comes so strong you find yourselves at odds with one another. Don't know why, but you are. And then when you think you know why, it's a lie because you've just been fed something and you hate, you find all kinds of reasons. You're bigots. You get guns and you're willing to hurt people. You're willing to force people to do anything that they don't want to do. With jails and prisons and laws like women can't make decisions about their own bodies. A few men and a couple of women make a decision and pass it down that the whole nation have to follow. And the thing about it is these crooked people, I call them crooked, don't even follow decency themselves. And yet, because of the way you've been trained, the way we've been trained, we follow suit. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white. It is the way the system is designed. It is designed to maintain that which is not of God. And so when we see all of the churches, the various numbers indicate that we don't agree. A God that we're all talking about. But we got so many different churches. We got mosques. We got cathedrals. All of these things and different other names to represent this God that is satisfied with a nation of liars and cheaters and bigots and haters and people who call themselves children of God. You're not children of God. You've been lied to. You've been deceived. Let me say that again because I know you don't really want to hear this. Excuse me. You really don't want to hear this because you love God with all your heart. You give God your tithes and your offerings. You even plant seeds that God will help you out of your hole. And you have grown up with God. You've flipped and fallen over benches and anything. No one dare not tell you that you don't know God. You don't know God. That's the absolute truth. You know what you've been told. You believe, a lot of you believe that. But the question should be, how much of your faith would you back up your belief with? And they say faith without works is dead. But it is not even to be considered in the other. So ladies and gentlemen, the churches we go to, I'm just going to tell you just like it is. We are all deceived. We mean well sometimes. Doesn't make any difference. We are all deceived. And a cancer, doesn't matter what it tells itself, as long as it's a cancer that has not been psyched, whatever that means, that baby will take you out. And we are on the path of being taken out. I'm not just talking about some other nation come in and fight us. I'm talking about the human species. We are so pathetic. Now, there are people who are quite familiar with God. Why and how? Because God chose them. And they know God. The difference in those that are chosen by God and those who don't know God is they are supposed to represent. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This thing getting so good. Let me just go back to the other. I don't want to interject this wonderful side, this God side over here, because it get you confused. To make a long story short, in America today, the devil is running the show. Everybody is under the influence of the devil. Now, that as for the way we understand it, there are many good men and women and old folks and children in America. Good in regards to the standard that have been set, are allowed to be set within the system that we live in. You know, we give out food and clothing, have other things to deal with the situations that are negative. You know, and that happens because there are kind people, kind limited to what the system will permit. Now, this system, Republicans and Democrats, men and women, black and white, all led by the devil, all confused as hell. And they're going to stay that way until a change comes. I want you to know that there is a God, a real God, and it's not any of these people. These people have just lied to us. We've been lying to one another. All that we do is lie to one another day by day. What we read, all it's just something to push what our agenda is. But there is that real God who has a purpose. And that purpose is for each of us who come here. We're to play a part in creation. We come here with a mission. Now, I don't know what your mission is. You don't know what mine is. But as we get a chance to exercise it, it becomes known. It works with, excuse me, I'm still under the knife. It works with others whose purpose is the same. Now, everybody that's on this earth benefits from this earth. If it's no more than standing up on the earth, if it's no more than the gravitational pull that holds us in place, everybody benefits. So coming here to produce, to give, but there are certain basic things that we have to deal with, just like our bodies have to have certain things happening, construct, in order for it to be maintained this way. In order for us to be around to do the creative things that we were put here to do, we got to be able to survive here. And so those things that are needed for survival, that power that put us here, made sure that all of those resources would be available on this earth. Sometimes it's above the earth, sometimes it's under the earth, sometimes it's seen, sometimes it's unseen, invisible. But it's here, and it's here free, just like the earth you're walking on, free. Those resources are free. And what are they for? They are for doing all the things that they have been used to do to benefit we, the people. Basic human rights for all people. And now that everything is like the beauty of God's hand, righteous hands, how can we afford to do these kinds of things? Why? How can we do it? See, the motivation for the other side was money. Motivation on this side is life. Life. And life is what you make it. And we want to make it the best that it can possibly be made by us. And so what we do, we utilize our gifts. Each of us, we go through the process, but when we're ready and able to engage ourselves in labor, in work, in careers, we put our hands to the plow. And you know what? The greatest joy that you can ever imagine comes from doing what you came here to do. There's no slacking up. If you like any training, there's no holding back. You're ready. You give it all you got. And everybody engaged. So what you have schools to train people to learn what will be needed that they don't already just automatically have. You have medical facilities that protect people from sicknesses and diseases. We have homes, not just for somebody to land on the other side say, I got me a house. No. We look at homes. Everybody got homes. We're a family. We are building life for all of us. Transportation, all of us got the transportation we want, need, or desire. Anything that we want, need, or desire, that we can imagine, the resources are here. We can put our hands to the plow and cause the creation thereof. And nobody got to lie, cheat, steal, go to war. None of that stuff. None of it. I want you to know that in order for that to happen, and I want it to happen, we got to change. Now, right now, we got a election coming up between the Republicans and Democrats. The truth of the matter is, there are evil people on both sides. The system was designed to have evil people. The Supreme Court, evil. The president, like Donald Trump, evil. Biden is evil, just not as bad as Donald Trump. Republicans, they're evil. Democrats are evil. Right now, not just as bad as the Republicans. So what the Republicans are going to do is trying to choke the hell out of you. Democrats will give you the room to breathe. So I'm saying to you right now, if you want to, depending, you make your choice. But you can choose to go through this process, maybe coming out alive. Republicans and Democrats, they want you to know they want to get rid of you. But if you come out alive, whoever gets in must know that you, the people, are making a change. And the life that is representative of God is our destiny. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to close. They are having talks or discussions in the Supreme Court about homeless people. If they're homeless, I guess, don't have no place to live or anything like this. If the system has screwed you so bad that you got nothing but just hanging in the streets, and they want to put you in jail rather than fix the problem. So if they start putting you in jail, you know they're working you. Nothing but slaves. Well, we're all that anyway. So I'm saying, with God, on God's side, if something arose that people would have no place to sleep, it would be like no one has any place to sleep, because they don't play that. Where God rules, righteousness rules, love rules. So ain't gonna be no homeless people. Not gonna be no homeless people. Not gonna be any of that. Okay. Thank you. I know I kind of went weird today, but I just wanted to connect with you. Maybe it did some good.